Have you ever wondered why incest seems so common in Japanese media? I did, and I looked a bit into it. Some of the things I found were astounding to say the least. A psychoanalyst from Japan. Someone asked him, "What is the most common problem you have to deal with?" And he said, "Incest." Japanese boys have their first experience of with their mothers. A Japanese Samaritan once told that all Japanese men are literally motherfuckers. So is it really true? Let's take a closer look. The Japanese culture have a different view on what is incest and what is not incest. Its roots are in the feudal era of Japan, where family ties changed like the wind, thanks to the fact that many families exchanged sons and daughters for political purposes. And those adopted sons and daughters for all legal purposes were considered the same blood as the new parents in regard of inheritance and etc. This created a fertile ground for sex stories involving mom, son, father, daughter, and brother-sister relationships during all those historical periods. Fast forward to present times, and the fascination with the theme continues. In mangas. Mangas are Japanese comics if you don't know. In anime, the incest theme is very common occurrence. That doesn't mean that in reality, the occurrence of incest relationships between mothers and sons is more common than in the Western world. So the truth is, historically, Japan did not have any problems with incest. In fact, clans would traditionally encourage relationships among cousins or second cousins to perpetuate family dynasties. If a father was widowed, he would often marry his daughter. Practices like this continued well into the 20th century, especially in very traditional rural families. Indeed, incestuous relationships were so common in olden days between siblings, cousins, aunts, nephews, uncles, and nieces. The genetic experts say that this has introduced all sorts of problems into Japan's DNA. By the post-war era, most people's attitude towards incest had turned to complete disapproval, likely due to introduction of genetic science and probably a moral influence from the West. It's now common wisdom that Japan's bloodline is a mess due to all the inbreeding. The sons grew up with overindulgent mothers who smothered them in affection, preventing them from developing emotional independence. The sons accept the power their mother have over them, and when they begin dating, they naturally look for another woman to mother them. This Mazakon means mother complex is a ritual complaint of young Japanese women seeking a husband, but as soon as they get married, they inevitably transfer the emotions that their husbands will not observe to their children, and so the cycle perpetuates itself. The Japanese male does not like responsibility. He's always controlled by someone else, his mother, his teacher, his boss in the company. I call this the OFUKURO, or the pouch function. He seeks to be protected in a maternal pouch all the time. We call our school the mother school. Employees regard their company as some kind of mother figure. The mother complex even extends to the state. Police, tax inspectors, railway guards treat citizens like precious children in constant need of surveillance and gentle chiding. A train is coming. It's dangerous, so please stand behind the white line on the platform. It's the recorded message that is played every time a train comes into a subway station in Tokyo. It continues after work. Men who don't want to face up to the responsibility of the father or husband will delay going home by taking refuge in a bar, where they find the mama-san, or you can say the bar mother, and her female cohorts who treat their guests as overgrown schoolboys, pouring their drinks, lighting their cigarettes, and listening to their complaints about work, and with mock disapproval to their jokes. Incest is not really a crime in Japan. This may surprise many people, but maybe this would be more surprised to find that isn't really a prosecutable crime either, if the victim hasn't registered enough. As far as the Japanese courts and the legal system is concerned, in a case of SA, a woman's no only means no if she backs it up with violence and loud resistance. There are also cases of runaway girls. Basically, runaway girls are the girls that run away from home at a very young age. You can say at the age of 12 or even at the age of 10. And the reason why they run away from home is because of their parents and how the parents treat their children. There are some runaway girls in the streets of Tokyo that state that the reason they run away from home is because of their dads assaulting them sexually. This is the biggest reason why most teenagers nowadays run away from home in Japan. There are even reports that dads in a family take baths with their daughter even when the daughter is 20 years old. This information I got is from the internet and from some of the news articles. So if you're a Japanese person or you're living in Japan, let me know in the comments below if this is really true or not. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.